the way forward from the Prime Minister. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Thanks for tuning in. First at 11, the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence calling a press conference, once again addressing the ongoing saga within the Valley Boys Junkanoo Group. Tonight, they made clear this is the last time they intend to speak on it. Our Devante Hanna is live with the latest.
Well, Royston, they say that's it. It's over when the fat lady sings, and today the JCNP doing exactly that. They reaffirmed their position as it relates to the Valley Boys, and they say that the Valley Boys represented or led by Brian Adderley will represent the group as the Category A group, and Trevor Davis and co. will have to rush on Bay Street as a fun group. Of course, this decision was made earlier today, that is, in a press conference at Norfolk House. Check it out.
This entire situation has been an embarrassment for the Junkanoo community, for the Valley Boys, and the JCNP as a body wished for it to be concluded.
John Williams, frontline manager of the Valley Boys, led by Brian Adderley, says the group is ready to take on Bay Street, despite reports that 80% of the members left.
We have not lost as many people as persons have tried to tell you guys. We have full sections, a full functioning backline, girls, frontline, Marshall team, everything, all alike.
It was announced that the government would give both factions seed funding of $30,000. Ultimately, the JCNP sent Trevor Davis and the Way Forward Committee to the fun category, ineligible to compete this go-around.
The persons that are critics of the JCNP, that is from a standpoint of ignorance. They do not understand the JCNP. They do not understand how the administration of Junkanoo works.
And though the Minister of Culture warned that the decision could very well backfire, Miller says members of the JCNP are not concerned.
So we don't think that this will negatively impact the parade. In our society, the Bahamians, we love drama. So I anticipate that the sales will even peak more.
And of course, this decision is behind them, according to Miller. And he says that what they will now focus on is ensuring that this Junkanoo parade is one of the best to ever be held, even though it's going to be surrounded by all of the drama. In fact, he has called this a disappointment. But of course, they say that they are ready to move on, and that's from both factions as well as the JCNP. From Norfolk House, back to you, Royston.
Freeport Container Port CEO Alan Dixon has resigned amid serious allegations. This after a team of auditors from the Hong Kong head office arrived in Grand Bahama to investigate a letter from employees raising concerns about Dixon's leadership. Raven Davis has more.
Our ZNS News team was the first to break the story, and just days later, we can confirm that Alan Dixon, the Chief Executive Officer of Freeport Container Port, has resigned. Now, this development follows a detailed letter from Freeport Container Port employees, which outlines serious allegations of nepotism and questionable business practices. Dixon's departure comes after some 3 years into the role.
It's as if a burden has been lifted up off of my shoulders. And for the people who work here at Container Port.
Employees of the Freeport Container Port sending a correspondence to ZNS News from the Human Resources Manager on Dixon's resignation. It reads, Mr. Alan Dixon has resigned from his position as CEO of Freeport Container Port and Freeport Harbor Company effective immediately due to family reasons. We take the opportunity to thank Alan for his valuable contributions and wish him future success. While the reasons behind Dixon's resignation leaves much to be desired, in a recent communication, employees say they do not rejoice in his sudden departure, but regrettably, under his leadership, employee morale and productivity were at an all-time low.
Now, it feels like there's hope, and the people now look ahead with anticipation of what's to come.
But they don't even know the amount of people quit because of mental and verbal abuse.
We only ask whoever takes the helm, remember that the company's greatest resource is the employees, and they should be treated fairly, with respect and dignity.
The letter sent to various government officials back in August alleges Dixon overspent and appointed his daughter to a position previously held by Bahamians. It also claims a foreign engineer was hired without the necessary work permits and that some government officials allegedly received gifts to expedite immigration-related applications. PLP Chairman, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, now questioning who will succeed Dixon and what steps will be taken to ensure proper leadership and accountability moving forward.
It would certainly be our view from the Progressive Liberal Party that the next step ought to be the hiring of a competent Bahamian who will run the facility and carry out the objectives which the company said it was committed to.
Just last year, the FCP's decision to lay off 20 Bahamian workers at the Freeport Container Port was reversed following the swift intervention of Prime Minister Philip Davis. Mitchell says that's the foundation of the PLP, to stand up for the Bahamian people.
One thing you can say about the Progressive Liberal Party is that they act on behalf of the upliftment of the people of the country.
Now, once again, according to the HR department, Dixon's resignation is due to family reasons. However, earlier this month, an investigative team, including international auditors, compliance officers, and additional officials from Hong Kong, was assembled to further examine company practices. Now, of course, this is a story we will continue to follow. But for now, reporting from the Freeport Container Port for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Raven Davis. Back to you at the desk.
Following the summer break, the House of Assembly is back in session come tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Leaders of government business in the House, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, tells ZNS News of 3 bills that will dominate the legislative agenda. The first is the Bridge Authority Amendment.
That is a bill that will expand the ability of the Bridge Authority to act with regard bridges throughout the Bahamas. This government demonstrates that it is not New Providence-centric. The original Bridge Authority Act limits the authority of the Bridge Authority to New Providence and Paradise Island. This will expand it to have authority all over the islands of the Bahamas.
In addition to the National Crime Intelligence Agency bill, the mining bill is also up for debate.
And the mining bill that is still receiving consultation. This is a government that believes in consultation. The Office of the Attorney General arranged that there's a website where the bills are posted. Once they go up, if people send comments, they are considered. This Prime Minister runs a consultative government. As he says, he governs for everyone, and so he's concerned to hear from everyone, regardless of what our opponents may say. And having heard from everyone, then we can move forward. You may not take on board and act on what everyone says, because decisions have to be made, but the mining bill is the last piece of legislation. The Attorney General advises me that he has an aggressive slate of bills to be tabled, and that should start very early, if not tomorrow, the following week.
Still to come, good news for BPL customers. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in a moment.
In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to be caught up in the rush. But when you're behind the wheel, remember, rushing can lead to disaster. Don't rush. Take your time. Remember, your life and others depends on it. Slow down, stay alert, and arrive alive. Because in the race of life, it's not about how fast you get there, but how safely.
This message is brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Losing your furniture to costly termite damage? You need Rentokil Initials Drop-and-Go Furniture Fumigation, the only service like it in the Bahamas. Simply drop your furniture at a fumigation container located at 5th Terrace, Centerville, and collect your termite-free piece within days. Sealed with our termite-free guarantee. Fast, convenient, affordable. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
We seem to remember our athletes when they make us proud at the finish line. Throw a Junkanoo parade when they return home, toss them a few dollars, and then forget about them until the next Members of the prestigious Fourth Estate should never sell themselves to any politician. Instead, keep their hands and noses clean in order to publish or broadcast the unadulterated truth. Well, that's how I see it anyway.
Read as I see it, exclusively at ZNSBahamas.com. New articles premiere on Mondays at 9 a.m.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do. ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine one.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
It's brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
Last night, Prime Minister of the Honourable Philip Brave Davis promised Bahamians that relief from soaring electricity costs is on the way. The Prime Minister even doubling down on that pledge, inviting customers to see the difference in the next billing cycle. Tonight, Corvell Pyfrom reports on residents' reaction to Mr. Davis's promise.
And we are on the way to delivering to the Bahamian people that which we promised. And we promised that, yes, you will have affordable, reliable electricity in due course.
Referring to the cost of electricity as the elephant that has been in the room for a long time, Prime Minister Davis last night was sympathetic to BPL customers and acknowledged these costs in many cases have been crippling. Relief, he assures, is on the way.
There was a hit in the bill for September, for July and August, but that's now been corrected. I invite them to look at what is coming for their September bills. And we'll see where those savings will be coming. And we intend to continue lowering the cost of electricity to the whole Bahamas.
The Prime Minister's comments got Duke Bodie up early this morning to see his bill.
I found it right now. I can find it right now. That I can be confident. But it means a whole lot for me because I'm retired. So, I'm on a fixed income. So it means a whole lot for me.
Edward Hanna, a small businessman, seems confident the Prime Minister will deliver on his promise.
It means good business. Good things is coming. And then I believe it's coming down.
But for this customer, she's less optimistic about any so-called reduction and says she'll believe it all when she sees it.
I don't think so at all. I live in a one-bedroom, and I'm literally paying about $4 something. I went in an inquiry. They said maybe it's how the landlord wired the place with the rich wire, and that's why. But I don't see no difference.
Later, we spoke again to Mr. Bodie as he was leaving. A thumbs down in this case meant good news for him.
They take off $40.
Well, $40 is a good start, eh?
Yeah, that's a good start.
Prime Minister Davis has said all along that there will be no quick fixes to righting what's wrong at BPL. The customers we spoke to seem to take him at his word when he says that there will be a reduction in cost of electricity. But while they are taking him at his word, they are also watching their bills closely to see when and if it happens. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
The American Medical Women's Association and Global CSR have partnered with the Disaster Risk Management Authority to donate buckets filled with essential items. This initiative aims to support women and children affected by disasters in some of the country's most vulnerable areas.
The bucket and the blanket and all the items this time we came up together is going to help women and girls in low socioeconomic status to be able to protect them from climate change impacts, such as pollution, such as disease, and all the climate change crisis impact had the most impact on women and girls. So that's why we dedicated to helping them and supporting them with very practical solutions that they can benefit directly.
1,250 buckets containing a safety mat, thermometer, hug pillow, and soap were donated. These buckets will be kept at various shelters and distributed in times of crisis.
The buckets, as you see, the contents are geared towards women and children. And so we've decided that in times of disaster, once we have women and children within the shelters, the buckets will be distributed amongst them to help and make their stay more pleasant.
A need fulfilled. After being forced off the scene some years back, a refurbished adult daycare is back on its feet, ready to take on dozens of seniors. Our Danielle Dean reports.
The outbreak of COVID-19 back in 2019 resulted in St. Matthew's Senior Citizen Daycare being closed down. But 5 years later, they are happy to announce that it's reopening. A combination of past years' experience and public response taught Sylvia Forbes, chairperson of social outreach at the church, the significance in centers like this one.
Huge demand, and the reality is, at this point in time, we are the only facility that does this type of work right now. Before COVID, there were two of us, St. Joseph's, the Catholic Church, and us. Basis, persons asking, requesting information on how to go about becoming a part of the St. Matthew's Senior State.
And according to Forbes and committee member Claudette Allens, relatives offer up a multitude of reasons.
They have to work. Yeah. So they would drop them off on the way to work and then pick them up when they get off. And they have a great time. They have a great time here.
Because sometimes people I'm taking care of a senior at home, and today I want to go out and get my nails done, my hair done, and then I want to do some shopping. So what do? I don't have a housekeeper.
The center's reopening comes at a time when Parish Rector, Father Basil Tynes, sees the neglect of senior citizens as a serious concern in the Bahamas.
The opportunity to basically interact with persons, to keep their minds active, because we have a lot of things going on in our society, including dementia and Alzheimer's.
The Church Street Center has the capacity to comfortably care for 15 to 18 seniors. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Anton Richardson continues to do some good things from the baseball standpoint. Details ahead in sports.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
It's time to grow your church. Time to extend your message to all the islands in the Bahamas, into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and to the world via the ZNS app and website. It's time to broadcast your church's services on ZNS TV. To help you with that, ZNS has some exciting new packages with very good prices. It's time to call 502-3813 for details.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. The old saying goes sooner or later. Well, for the New Providence Softball Association, it's been more about the later. That's because they've been trying to start their New Providence Softball Association men's and ladies championships since last week. Mother Nature, though, has had different ideas. Rain has caused the start of those playoffs and championships to be pushed back continuously, including tonight, where they were supposed to have the ladies game at 7:30 and then the men following right after. Right now, the New Providence Softball Association is hopeful that they'll be able to get those championship series started on Thursday. Of course, that is weather permitting. We'll see Mother Nature. She's been very fickle as of late. And speaking of the drama and baseball and all the other good stuff around that, well, we have one of our Major League Baseball players, or former baseball players, who's now making a living as a base coach. Anton Richardson has been busy. Right now, Amajal Knowles tells us more.
He's one of the few Bahamian men that have been blessed enough to be called up to the show. And while his time as a player may be done, he's definitely still making an impact on the diamond. Anton Richardson, currently serving as the first base coach for the New York Mets, has definitely been instrumental in the team's success this season, as they currently sit second in the NL East. Richardson speaking recently to media about the pathway for Bahamians in baseball on and off the diamond.
I think hopefully it's another path that people see as an opportunity to get into this window, right? And I think just like we see it sprinkled in before, like it was only a couple minor league baseball players. Now you have a lot of minor league baseball players. Now you got Josh Chisholm in the big leagues, and so now you have someone's on the field that's coaching. You have someone in the front office, and before long we'll have a GM, and maybe some of those rich guys in the Bahamas may be an owner someday, right? So I think just kind of creating paths for different Bahamians to do different things, man. So I wouldn't put out the realm of possibility that we have an owner in some sort of major sporting franchise here in the next couple of years, Now,
of course, Anton getting his big break as a player with the New York Yankees, the current home of Bahamian baseball superstar Jazz Chisholm Jr. Anton talking about what the opportunity of playing for the Bronx Bombers means for the charismatic third baseman.
So Jazz obviously is a super talented player, and I think playing with a franchise with so much history, I also know Jazz respect for the people that come through that franchise, and so I think, man, he's just gonna take his game to another level. I think it's gonna challenge him to be better. I think people are gonna see some of his true talent come out, and so I'm personally excited to see where he goes next, man. I think it's only up from here, and I'm hoping that this takes him to another stratosphere in his career.
And here at home, Richardson touching on his LDK Performance Group and its goals as it tries to further develop baseball at the grassroots level in the 242.
It's always something I kind of been passionate about, is just kind of trying to find the correct entry point, right? And then sometimes it just takes time to evaluate and figure out how you could best help, you know? And then it's just exciting kind of growing a team to help you do that, because I think doing it by yourself is kind of really, really tough. So excited to partner with like Ethan Bain and Miles Monroe Jr. and Shante Curtis and Lyndon Wallace and a lot of different people to like kind of like try to make this vision come together. And I think like trying to also bring groups, local groups together to do more things. And I think you're going to see that like over the next couple of months.
Richardson and the Mets tonight at home to take on the Washington Nationals as they continue in their playoff push. For NSO Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
And that's it. Your check on sports for you here on this Tuesday, our Tuesday weather forecast is just ahead. Stay with us.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking road? You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him, just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap spot. No, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad big broke, and he got a sticker inside this. This mud, though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
By giving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, I thought was a wonderful way of showing this love, and I believe that it is love that truly draws people, and so I thought we could cover a lot more people by feeding. Volunteers, you know, they have truly been sold.
My passion is to help, and I thank God for what I can do through the help of Bahamas Feeding Network.
It's now time for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean.
Good evening, Roston. The tropics relatively quiet this evening. There are two areas we are looking at. The first, this area here in the Caribbean Sea, not yet developed, but we anticipate that within the next several days, over the weekend or perhaps early next week, something will be happening here, and that will be turning towards the north and west. But we'll keep our eyes on that and keep you posted. And then there is Gordon. Just the remnants of Gordon out there in the central parts of the Atlantic. It's just a remnant low-pressure system, but the computer models are all suggesting that it will regenerate, and once that happens, it will continue moving towards the north, no threat to any landmass, and that's the good news there. Satellite pictures showing all of that wet stuff that affected us during the course of the day is now moving offshore in the Atlantic, but there's another area over the Cuba area that's also trailing towards the north and east, and that will affect us later on tomorrow, keeping those showers in the mix. So we advise that you continue to keep those umbrellas very handy. Forecast tonight, partly to mostly cloudy and still on the warm side. A thunderstorm in parts of the area this evening, followed by periods of light rains, and your low temperature just around 81 degrees tomorrow. A couple of morning thunderstorms, otherwise the rest of the day is going to be pretty much cloudy with a high temperature of 87 degrees. Extended weather forecast, the gray skies will be with us right through Thursday. We get a bit of sunshine on Friday, but come Saturday, more clouds roll back into our forecast, and that mix of bags of clouds and sunshine and showers will remain with us. Some of those showers will be heavy at times, resulting in localized ponding. Russell?
Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better. and ZNS. Thank you for watching.
At the Office of the Prime Minister, I'm Devontae Hanna. This is ZNS.
From the famous cultural exports produced by the talent of its people to the physical beauty and landmark sites that have helped set it apart, plus a serving of its notable cuisine, the Caribbean has successfully carved its own niche upon the global woodwork. Once again, Caribbean Passport is here to deliver even more examples of influential musical institutions, culinary creations, and natural attractions that continue to set this region apart. Please come with us. Trinidad and Tobago's contributions to the global cultural landscape include the steel pan, an iconic instrument that has entertained music fans with its sweet sound for decades. And now, a new event has drawn several elements of pan together, much to the joy of its aficionados.
The steel pan, renowned for its melodious sounds and heavily associated with the Caribbean, it has long conveyed a cool tropical vibe. On the flip side, there's the relentless energy on display when it comes to steel pan competitions and other events. Well, steel pan lovers were definitely in their element during the inaugural World Steel Pan Festival in Trinidad and Tobago, a celebration of this country's national instrument. The festival featured different events that took place alongside an art exhibition series, which was staged at the Rotunda Gallery, Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago, Stallmeyer's Castle, and the Carnival Museum. The World Steel Pan Conference at the Hyatt Regency Trinidad was a major highlight and involved panel discussions on the sustainability and financing aspects of the steel pan music industry. A particular source of delight were the Panyard Jams, which were hosted by Desperado Steel Orchestra, Arima Angel Harps, and Skiffle Steel Orchestra, and involved performances from a total of 12 steel bands. A difference in pan mediums occurred at the Legacies and Legends concert, which came off at the National Academy for the Performing Arts, where the National Steel Symphony Orchestra took